This is Megan from Know the Story, and today I'm at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm going to talk to some students and ask them a few deep questions. Okay. Woo.
What kind of questions are these?
These are like deep questions. I'm trying to interview people around the city. We just want to get a sense of your experience at Penn. So first question, what's your guys' major?
I'm a biology major.
Both of us are neuroscience.
Neuroscience.
I'm a communications major.
Finance and management with a minor in music.
Finance and business analytics with minors in environmental science and computer science.
Econ with a comp sci minor.
Computer science and some neuroscience.
Business, energy, environment, and sustainability. And then business economics and public policy.
I'm finance and statistics.
Lame.
What's the first thing that people say, or like the first thing you hear when you tell them that you go to Penn?
They usually ask me if it's like stressful and stuff.
They think I'm smart.
My dad texted me, "Good job," and that's it.
Yeah, I like transferred, so I like found out in the middle of a class. So I just like texted my mom and she's like, "Oh, good job."
They're either like, "Oh, Penn State," which is like, I don't really care. Or they're like, "Oh, that's so cool."
I tell people I go to UPenn and like, "Oh, Penn State?"
Oh my God, Penn State.
People often say, "Oh, Penn State." They're like, "Oh no," and then you just get sort of a weird look.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
People
Probably like
don't really know that UPenn is even an Ivy League.
I'm from Ohio, so a lot of people do assume at first it's Penn State, and I don't really correct them.
Like that's all the students I've asked had the same response to that. Okay, next question. What compliment do you hear the most? In general, it doesn't have to be academic.
I'm very ambitious. That's the biggest one, I would say.
People just tell me I'm a kind person.
Easygoing.
I heard I'm a good listener.
I'm very authentic.
Friendly.
The way I dress, like people think I wear cool clothes. It's just always a nice compliment to get.
Yeah, I thought you were wearing the Akatsuki.
No, I've gotten that too.
Yeah, I was like, is that the...
I wish I did.
As this guy would say, I'm a visionary.
I guess that I'm passionate and outgoing.
I'll go with passion as well.
What do you wish you heard more of?
That I'm kind.
That I'm athletic.
I want more people to say that I'm chill.
Do people not think you're chill?
I don't know. I feel like I'm not very chill.
You're chill.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you.
I guess like I struggle with like imposter syndrome, so I wish I heard that I was smarter more, or that I belonged more. Maybe.
You are smart.
I'm cool with friendly.
I think I also would like to hear that I'm a good friend.
I like mine, but I think if people said I was honorable, that would also make me feel better, I would say.
Why honorable?
Because I think honor is a very underrated virtue in our society. I'm not a prude, but I think it's difficult to do the right thing in all cases. And I think people who generally aspire to do good things and are noble in their actions, I think it's very difficult to do that. I think it's an underrated quality. So it's something I try to do. I'm not going to say I'm at that point. We all think we are, but I would say that would be a compliment that would mean a lot to me.
Next question. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn?
Unlearn? A lesson I'm still unlearning is like caring a bunch about what other people think of me.
Probably just to not compare yourself to people.
Is it the Asian parent thing?
Yeah, an Asian sister. She's so smart. See, I'm doing it right now.
I think the biggest lesson is there are certain conflicts or relationships that just aren't worth it to work out, and at some point you just need to learn to say no and cut things off.
The lesson that took me the longest to learn is that I'm more than just like a bunch of numbers or like a bunch of like prestigious names.
Success is about being at the top of a given dominance hierarchy. True success is doing what you want outside of whatever dominance hierarchy society gives you, I would say. And then important lesson, I will add this, is loneliness is selfish. That's a good lesson to learn in life, I would say.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
I think sometimes people are lonely. I'm not talking about people who are introverted, but I think oftentimes people who are very lonely view themselves as being kind of apart from the world. And the truth is, like, all of us have so much to offer, and I think it can be selfish to not convey yourself or not convey what you know or your experiences to other people, I would say.
I think that the way people treat you isn't necessarily a reflection of yourself, but a reflection of them and how they view themselves.
I'll just say being more collaborative than competitive. You know, like I think moving through all the school system, you know, the way we get here is by being very competitive and moving forward. Personally, I would like to learn how to collaborate with anybody.
Okay. Do you feel like that's the culture in Penn is like very competitive, or do you think it fosters collaboration?
Yeah, Penn has a very competitive reputation. I think that's more so because of how the school is institutionally set up. More often than not, the people who are like, for lack of better terms, the most well-respected student leaders are kind of at the top in different things here, are kind of like Devin said, more collaborative. They kind of want to shape the community versus kind of be the sole person who are recognized for different things. So I would actually say Penn, surprisingly, and Wharton especially, is actually much more collaborative than people would often infer.
How often do you feel like you don't measure up to your own standards?
Yeah, it's funny because people will say that to me a lot. Like I look like I have everything figured out. Other people will be like, "Oh, like you look comfortable being yourself," but I'm really not.
Honestly, I feel that basically all the time.
Every day.
Very often.
Probably when I'm having like a conversation with my siblings.
Once I got into Penn, like I thought that I would accept myself or that all my problems were solved, but then you just come up with like new bars for yourself and new ways that you don't meet your own expectations.
I guess it's not an uncommon thing here, but I feel like I'm never really satisfied with myself.
Yeah.
Even when it's stuff I feel like I'm good at, it's just like, oh, like other people are doing better than me, so I can do better.
I think there's often times when I don't measure up to my own standards. There's a lot of times where I regret not putting myself out there when I could have, like applying for things just because I know I could have put myself out there, but I just didn't have the confidence to do so. So I think in a way I didn't reach my standard.
While I think I've made progress and done things that, I'm proud of, there are always things that I still want to hit and things I have yet to do and things that I didn't succeed in doing.
I don't like that I'm like that, kind of, because I feel like it robs me of joy sometimes. Even though I guess it might not be the most healthy, like it does get results.
I think in the beginning, like I like compared myself with like other people, but then as time went on, like I started comparing like with myself more, and I think that's like healthier because it's like, how can I be like the best I can be instead of like measuring with other people.
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is to be okay with just trying your best, and I think there's always going to be a higher mountain to climb, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm happy and I'm content with myself, that's fine.
As I've gotten older, I've stopped like getting as down on myself about it, and like focus more on just trying to do the right thing and not caring about the outcome.
I think it depends on who you associate yourself with. I think there are people who are very chill, and when you hang out with them, you have fun, you relax. There are people who you hang out with that sometimes you just feel more stressed, right? Because they're so accomplished, and So I think that it depends on like what your social circle is.
My mentality is that you want to be around people who are smarter than you or better at you, because that pushes you to have, I think, greater achievements. For me, I think I have a different view of failure. I think failure is quitting. I think when you go for something and you don't get it, I don't think that's really failure. I think that's just an opportunity to learn. So I really think the only type of way in which someone can fail is when you really quit on a mission that you really want to achieve. If you're committed to something, you really should go the full mile and be ambitious enough to hone in on what you want to do and just ultimately get after it.
What are you most grateful for in life currently?
My friends and my family.
Family and friends.
My family.
Family in general, like they're coming next week, and our family hasn't reunited in over like 2 years, and so just having like their support.
Like I feel like there's no one on the planet who understands me as much as my family does.
They really cared about my education, so basically invested and saved just so that I could get a better education.
Graduation is in a week, and we're going to see our families again. Like I am just so grateful for like not only my family but the community here at Penn that I like made and found. That like nobody really does anything alone,
I'm very just grateful for my college friends and my family.
I'm definitely grateful for my parents. I mean, they are the reason I'm here today. They raised me with the best mentality. But I have to say, the thing I'm most grateful for is honestly just being alive. Like the fact that we're sitting here at this university on this campus, able to have this conversation, and the world isn't blowing up around us with like bombs and disease, and well, at least disease anymore, is honestly something that we don't think about. The fact that I'm just alive and able to keep going forward and do great things with my friends is what I would say I'm most grateful for. Just the opportunity to be alive, I think.
What I'm really grateful for are just the wide range of people that I've met, and since elementary school to middle school, high school, and to college. I've lived in 3 different countries. They really humanize you, and you get to understand how different people think, how different people behave, what are their hopes, what are their wishes, what do they want to do in their lives, right? And just listening to their stories, listening to what they hope for in their lives, gives you motivation to achieve more, to maybe serve them, or start an organization where they can also collaborate on your vision or somebody else's vision. So I think that's what motivates me, and I believe all of us and a lot of people in this school.
Cool. Wow, thank you so much. You guys are all graduating, right?
Yeah.
Wow, congrats. I hope you guys... Huh?
We're taking grad photos right now.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was kind of nervous, so I forgot about that.